Good day everyone. Our topic is all about lake. So what is lake? Lake is a large body of standing or slowly moving water, either fresh or salty, that is completely surrounded by land. So we can easily recognize the lake because it's surrounded by land. Just for example, we can call that Tonaan is lake. Yes, we can call that lake because this surrounded by land. So, lake can be natural or artificial. Natural lakes is formed by rivers or glaciers, while the artificial lakes like ponds or reservoir made by human. Rivers can be found on every continent or in every kind of environment, though they are generally found in mountain areas. How are lakes made? Lakes are made from rivers flooding or from tectonic plates shifting or from glaciers melting.
The two components of a lake. These are biotic and abiotic factors. So when we say biotic, it refers to the living components of an ecosystem, such as bacteria, fungi, plants, archaea, animals, and protists. While abiotic factors, it refers to the non-living physical and chemical elements, such as air, salinity, soil, temperature, light, water, minerals, pH, and humidity. And note, biotic factors are all organisms within an environment, while abiotic factors are physical and chemical elements that are not alive. Overall, the two components of a lake, biotic and abiotic factors, are very helpful by influencing everything from plant growth and animal survival to nutrient cycles and overall environmental health.
First, littoral zone. So what is littoral zone? The shallow nearshore region where sunlight reaches the lake bottom, allowing for the growth of rotted aquatic plants. Microclimates. This is known as highly biodiversity and productivity. So the littoral zone is the area where a body of water, ocean, sea, lake, or river meets the land. It's a highly dynamic and biologically productive region, characterized by abundant sunlight and wave action and provide essential habitats for a diverse range of plant and animal life. Limnatic zone. So what is the limnatic zone? Limnatic zone is the open water area of the lake that is well lit and extends to the depth of effective light penetration. Phytoplankton and zooplankton dominate this zone, performing photosynthesis and forming the base of the open water food web. So limnatic zone is the open sunlight part of a lake, away from the shore. Since light reaches their area, tiny plants called plankton can do photosynthesis. This makes the zone important because it produces oxygen and food for many organisms. Small fish, zooplankton, and even bigger fish lives here, make it the center of the lake's food web.
Bindit zone, also known as the bottom of the lake, embracing the sediments, Demetrius like bacteria. This zone is inhabited by bacteria and fungi, which break down organic matter. So, mo ni sa pinakabuton sa lake. So, nay mamatay isda dito gyapon dito padong mo ni siyang moy like so mo ni makakanon sa mga bacteria and fungi.
What is apoptic zone? Apoptic zone of a lake is the deep lightless layer where sunlight can penetrate, making photosynthesis impossible. It means ang photosynthesis cannot occur because sunlight is can penetrate. And then ang sukod sa apoptic zone is 10 to 40 meters gikan sa surface.
Flow belt, formed by river activities such as Oxbow Lake with the river changes course. Landslide lake, created when landslide block the river valleys forming a natural dam. They can also form a natural and become a permanent if the dams hold supporting a new ecosystem. Eoline lake, forming a depression created by wind erosion often in desert areas.
Volcanic lakes form in the depression created by volcanic processes which then fill with water. Glacier lakes form the depressions of basins carved out by glaciers which then fill with water as the ice melts.
Anthropogenic lakes are artificial bodies of water created by humans, often called reservoirs, built for water storage, power, irrigation, or recreation, but they significantly alter natural ecosystems through damming, water diversion, and pollution from surrounding land use, impacting water quality and wildlife habitats, leading to eutrophication and biodiversity loss, despite providing useful water resources.
What is the producer? Producer is also known as autotrophs, are organisms that create that own food through photosynthesis using sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. In lakes ecosystem, the primary producers include consumers. Consumers or heterotrophs obtain energy by feeding on their organism. They are classified into different trophic levels based as their feeding habits. So what is the example of consumers like little fish?
So, secondary consumers. What is secondary consumers? These are animals that eat primary consumers, herbivores like zooplanktons or insects, such as small fish like minnows, perch, or sunfish. Crayfish and frogs acting as carnivores or omnivores, controlling primary consumers' populations, providing energy for larger tertiary consumers like bass or trout. They occupy the third trophic level, getting energy from those that eat plants and algae. So the examples of secondary consumers are fish like sunfish, perch, minnows, trout, bass, and bluegill. And also there are invertebrates like crayfish and dragonfly larvae. And also amphibians like frogs. So the role of secondary consumers is they control primary consumer populations, preventing overgrazing of producers and transferring energy up the food web to tertiary consumers, those maintaining ecological balance, nutrient cycle, and overall ecosystem health.